When I was on a carnivore diet, I remember how painful it was to go eat out with friends, and I would order a steak, and then I'd have to ask the waiter, "Hey, make sure you don't cook it in vegetable oils, make sure you cook it in butter." And then the waiter would go back and talk to the chefs, and probably the chefs would laugh. And then the waiter would come back and they said they would cook it in butter, but you never knew whether they were going to cook it in coconut oil or butter, some safe fat. And meanwhile, your friends are trying to have fun and have a normal conversation, and you're having a mini panic attack over some vegetable oil, and you look silly, and whoever you're with is, looking kind of embarrassed. It is very hard to maintain the carnivore diet, and I know a lot of us will put on this face to just deal with this and be like, "Oh, you guys are stupid. You guys are poisoning yourself." But in reality, those people are usually healthier than we are, and they eat whatever they want. Like, how frustrating is that? Like, those people don't care, and they're healthier than you. Meanwhile, you're spending thousands of dollars a month trying to make your health better, and you can't even have a steak that was cooked in vegetable oil. Look, I don't think it should be cooked in vegetable oil. I think that's not classy, and it'd be a lot tastier and a much more nutritious if it was cooked in some other fat. But even the top carnivore dieters, Sean Baker just mentioned that he eats 100 grams of fruit a day now. 100 grams of fruit a day now. Look, guys, if you have an autoimmune disease, uh, look, my name is Mike the Healer Gut Guy. I healed myself from Crohn's and colitis. I have a free webinar that shows you everything that I did to get better. It's on my bio link. If you are not listening to people through a filter, and they like you have to run everything through a filter. If they don't know, look, diet is by far the easiest thing. Just get the most nutrients into you and have it be tasty. And to do that, all you have to do is follow the work of Weston A. Price. It's literally a short conversation. Here it is. Organ meats have the most nutrients in it. Period. What has the most energy in it? It's fruits and carbs. Oh, carbs are the devil. Go look at the work of Weston A. Price. Every culture, their staple was some sort of starch. It was in every single meal. Oh, it's bad for you. Go talk to a Viking and tell him that his beer and that his bread is bad for him. He's going to hit you over the head with the axe. Your ancestors are laughing at you right now because how is bread bad? It's in the Bible. It says it's okay. It's like literally crazy talk. And that's all these diets are. The carnivore diet is one of the better eating disorders. It is an eating disorder. And I had them too. I get it. But the first step of getting better is knowledge. You need to know that your gut disease, your autoimmune disease isn't caused by not being on a crazy diet. It was caused by a stressful event that put an organ into overdrive, and there is a ton of science to back this up. A lot of it is being suppressed nowadays, but in the 1950s, it was like common knowledge that stress caused a lot of these weird autoimmune diseases. The carnivore diet is not sustainable. Sooner or later, your body is going to need sugar. And it's not socially sustainable. It is exhausting to go out and ask the waiter and ask the chefs to dance around on all your food needs, and then have your friends sit there and wait patiently while it takes 10 minutes just to do your order. And deep down, it's so frustrating. You just end up avoiding it, and you just don't go eating out at all. But even if you do the carnivore diet at home, you're still spending $20 a meal on a steak. If you want to go the cheap route, you're going to have ground chicken, ground beef for $5 a pound. You have some of these bigger carnivores. Their eating disorder is becoming so advanced that they can only have ruminant animals versus they can't eat cows and horses or something. They can't eat chickens. They can only eat ruminant animals. So I can only eat it. Like it's crazy. And I get it. I used to be there. But in order for you to get better, you have to recognize that a stressful event put an organ into overdrive. And making food your conflict is just going to make things worse. I know you react to foods now, but it's either a PTSD trigger linked to a conflict. Oh, I had a piece of pizza when me and my girlfriend were breaking up, and she threw a pizza in my face. Okay, now my brain thinks gluten and tomatoes. And then when I had my first flare, I read a carnivore diet book. Now the only thing, like, that's how we fall into these traps. I go over this in a lot more detail in my free webinar, and also right now I'm doing free consultations for the next week. Slots are filling up super fast. If you want to be free from this holistic nonsense, I'm all for the holistic route, but the holistic community doesn't take into effect that your brain controls your body. So that's where most of the focus needs to be. It is very easy to eat the right foods. It's very easy to eat nutrient-dense foods, but there's no point of eating these foods if they're just going to go straight into the toilet, and your conflict is just going on and on and on and on. The carnivore diet is not sustainable socially. It's not sustainable economically. For your pocketbook, it is very expensive, even if you're eating discount meat, especially if you live in Canada. And metabolically, it's not sustainable. Your body needs sugar. It's just instead of giving your body straight sugar, you are eating just meat, and then it has to convert protein, which is needed for a lot of other things, but now you have to convert that protein into sugar, which is a very metabolically expensive process. Go watch that webinar, guys. It's going to explain everything in more detail, and I have time to show you all the science behind this stuff. I don't want you to suffer anymore from your eating disorder. I want you to live a free life from this insanity. I get it.